So this one is something more of what we see out here when these cast iron boilers are taken down, and I actually like this setup. The only thing I might change is I might have separated the domestic because I like the redundancy, but basically just two Lochinvar Knights. These are the Knight XLs. This building's not particularly large. Um, Goes through, that's domestic, goes through this wall here and ties into the existing system. They left the old boiler, just kind of took it apart, which fine, whatever. And they moved these into what was a storage area. The reason I'm on this call is we have these B&G, they're 1BL006 series. It's a 6th horse, water lubricated. I think at Grundfos 26.99, or the next one up is the same thing. But these, we get bad bearings on them on occasion. This one's working fine. We're on a 46% for domestic only. And this one went off an automatic reset high limit, so I reset it, but there's no call. I know the bearings are really noisy on this one before, so I just ordered it. Probably this is an easy one. I mean, honestly, it's in such good shape, I might leave the body if it's not trashed. That's how nice of a replacement this one will be. Everything has isolation valves, which I really like. There's a strainer to blow down right here. So they did that because whoever installed these were super smart, and they realized that these are little tiny passageways in this heat exchanger, and any junk from the ferrous metal in the system would plug them up. So they actually installed Y strainers with blowdowns, so that's kind of cool. So we're going to kind of tear that apart. Like I said, with these here, whoever hasn't really worked on them, they're really cool to work on. I'll kind of set this up a little bit and show you guys. Let me set up my light. But basically, the cool thing about these boilers is we have the top. And when the top pops off, you have access to all of your connections up top, really easy to get to. This is more or less an AI board, so all of your analog inputs, it looks like they're not doing Cascade anymore. That's interesting. Wonder why they did that. And your serviceman's jumper, which is always hanging around. Looks like someone had a problem here. The other cool thing about these are that you can get into here and you can loosen these 4 screws and pop this out, but you really can get to this heat exchanger. I think it's Gianni, whatever it is. It's a beautiful heat exchanger. These were in the old Munchkins, which were kind of pieces of junk, but these are really easy to clean. Parts are plentiful. I don't run into issues with these. I just don't. So I figured I'd show you guys what I run into. A lot of times lead flow switch issues. These McDonnell Miller 24 volt, they're watchdogs, I think, or guard dog, garbage, straight garbage. I'm not a big fan of 24 volt low order cutoffs. I prefer the 120 volt version that breaks everything. And the domestic is off of this Turbo Max, which I really like these. The recovery on these things is absolutely stupid. Heavy and expensive, but probably one of the best indirect fired water heaters I can think of. Amazing piece of equipment. See, circulators installed incorrectly. You're not supposed to have them on the vertical like this unless you're at over 20 psi in the system. I guess air gets up into the water lubricated part of the rotor and it doesn't work. But also, I mean, if you look at this too, these circulators, you're not supposed to install a control box down. It's supposed to be pointed up, which is a matter of flipping that body around. But again, it's all small nuances. Things worked for a million years. Anyways, so this is the last one for tonight. I just figured I'd show you guys. This is one of my favorite boilers. Anything Lochinvar is really, really good. I really like them. I was just talking to a guy at a supply house I work with, and with the way triangle tube is kind of gone. Something about IBC wall hungs. They have a commercial line. IBC, the residential ones, are really easy to take apart. They're all pretty much the same, but allegedly these kind of fit in place of the Triangle 2 Prestige. We do a lot of PT399s and a lot of PT250s as far as repair work goes, but they're non-existent. But anyways, I got the model number off the pump. I've already ordered it. We'll send our report to maintenance, but like I said, very easy to work on, easy to take apart, easy to clean. There are special testers you can buy for these ECM driven combustion blowers, which is basically kind of like the broad ocean tester you would see for ECM driven indoor blowers. But again, all of your relay boards are really easy to get to, really easy to check things, check your inputs, your outputs, super easy. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about them, but anyways, I just wanted to show you this before I called it a night, and yeah, that should be about it.